leaders actually are bridge builders. They are in the business of winning hearts. And I would say that, just focus on that. When you're able to do that, the business happens. Because, every business that you're dealing with, whether you say you're an FMCG, you're into FMCG products, or, IT products, or any other products that you may be, or services you may be dealing with, eventually we are all in the people business. And people vibe only to what connects them to the heart. So of all the things that you ever win, a heart must mean the most.
Welcome to another episode of the peopleHum interview series. I'm your host, Sneha Murthy, and let's begin with a quick introduction of peopleHum. peopleHum is an end-to-end, one-view integrated human capital management automation platform, the winner of the 2019 Global Cody Award for HCM that is specifically built for crafted employee experiences and the future of work. We run the peopleHum blog and video channel, which receives upwards 200,000 visitors a year and publish around 2 interviews with well-known names globally every month. And now for our guest. Farzana says, "Speak to me if victory in life is what you seek." She is a corporate trainer, coach, speaker, and a numerologist. She has collaborated with and empowered teams from various organizations such as Google, BBC News, Procter & Gamble, DHL, Blue Dart, and many more. She is also a feature writer and has been covered for her expertise in over 50 well-known publications, radio, and TV channels. Her goal is to inspire people and positively impact 100,000 lives by 2021. We are thrilled to have you, Farzana, with us.
Thank you, Sneha. It's a pleasure to be here on peopleHum, and I'm excited about what we're going to share today with all our wonderful audience.
It's absolutely our pleasure, Farzana. So the first question I had for you was, you've had quite an interesting and exciting journey so far. So can you tell us a story about how you came to be a victory coach?
Well, thank you for that. In fact, the story goes back many years ago. Before I kind of moved into the space of coaching and training. So I was working in advertising and doing. I thought I was doing fabulously well, till I guess we all hit a curve where we suddenly realize, whether this is where we really want to continue going on our path, or does life has another path for us. And I realized that actually I was meant to be somewhere else. So I moved on from my job, and I remember I decided that coaching and training was something that I would do. However, I wasn't sure how far I would go, where would it take me, etc. The first year was fabulous because I didn't have to go to work, no commute. It was fun. Just having all that time to myself. And then it hit me that, while I was doing something that I loved, but the inflow of, money had kind of stopped. And before I knew it, in a few months' time, I also came to understand that I had barely, 1,359 rupees, 29 paise available to me. And I had an 85,000 EMI to pay for my home. And in the next 3 weeks, there was just no, opportunity in sight. I didn't want to reach out to people and ask them for anything. And I remember I just, laid on the floor in my house and I just surrendered. And before I knew it, there was, and the only thing I said at that point in time when I lay down on the floor was that I told the universe, can you just give me a sign? Do I need to continue what I do, or should I just go back to my world of advertising in a secure job? About half an hour or maybe 45 minutes later, I received a call from a past colleague who mentioned that there was a training assignment. And my first question to him was, okay, so am I going to be paid? Because when you start off, you always feel, people kind of just want something, pro bono. And he said, of course, we're going to pay you. I mean, what kind of a question is that? Then I asked him, how much? And he says, ma'am, we'll pay you what we were paying an earlier trainer, because the earlier trainer backed out because of a health issue. And I said, all right, but I still want to know, how much are you going to pay me? And he says, ma'am, we're going to pay you 1 lakh. And this was a 2-day assignment. And I couldn't believe it. But I was persistent. I was relentless. And I asked him, will I get an advance? Because, as you know, that I had an EMI to pay, and I was really, quite anxious about that. And he said, ma'am, if you share us, all your, financial details, etc., and your invoicing, I'll be able to, part with 75% advance, and the balance we'll give you within 5 days of taking on the assignment. And Sneha, that's it. At that point, I realized that every one of us has a story of victory. And every one of us has a coach within themselves to push themselves out of victory, to victory. However, there are still some of us who have not realized that, they can achieve, they can achieve victory, they can be winners. And that's the point, that I decided that I'd like to be called a victory coach, because my role is to inspire people to see themselves as winners in life. So in a nutshell, this is my story of how Victory Coach was born.
Wow, that is so beautiful, and it really inspires everyone. Like, you can come up, you just need the coach to within yourself to lighten up, and that gives you a lot of confidence. It's inspiring to know that.
Thank you.
So the second question I had for you was, what are the few things that people should know before they go into a life coach engagement?
This is really a good question, because I do coach a lot of people from various spectrums of life. So, leaders, mid-management, entrepreneurs, etc. And one of the things that I always tend to share with them is it's important to understand the clarity of engagement. Why? What is the purpose of engaging a coach? This is the first step towards, hiring a coach, or seeking life coach services. The second is its commitment. It is, people feel that it's the coach's job. I mean, I have this problem. I want to, achieve this goal, and it's the coach's job to just get me there. But the coach cannot guarantee that. It is a collaborative process. It's a process which requires your commitment. So if you are able to commit to that engagement, then it would be great if, then it's great to have a coach. The other thing is respect. Respect for time. Because, when the whole coaching process and, depends on a program, and that program works only if, you adhere to that process, which is time bound and periodic. So when you're able to do all of that, make that commitment, then coaching works for you. The fourth thing is it is safe and confidential. So, it's important that people who take on coaching need to understand that it is a safe space, and you need to share in honesty whatever is going on, because the coach can only do that much with the information that you've given. And last but not the least, I would say it is coaching is not an idle conversation. It is meaningful, and it is directed towards you achieving your goal and the very purpose that you're in, in this relationship for. And it'll be great if you. And I think one more thing that I've forgotten to share is that a coach will push you out of your comfort zone. So if you're ready to be pushed out of your comfort zone, then life coaching is for you.
Absolutely. I completely agree to the point that it is supposed to be a two-way thing. Like, a coach alone cannot be doing it. You have to be a mutual in that, right? And
absolutely.
The most valuable advice that you've shared is like giving respect to time. That is really very beneficial, and it's very valuable as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So one more thing I was curious to know was, like, in this difficult times, especially, remaining optimistic it's not that possible, right? So how is it difficult to remain optimistic when you are in an uncertain and unpredictable environment? And this is like more relevant now, given the global health crisis we are amidst. How can you say that leaders stay positive and are helpful around this time?
Thank you for this, Neha. So I feel being positive is doesn't guarantee you success. Yeah. At the same time, being negative will certainly guarantee no success for you. And for leaders, we know a few things, I would say, if you're really looking at staying positive despite whatever is going on. And this could, like today it's a pandemic, but I know that a lot of leaders have gone through recessions, have gone through so much, and they've needed to kind of turn around. So there is this thing. So there are three things I would like to add out here. One is that you need to be transparent. If you really want to stay positive, you really want to stay in command of what you are doing, you need to be communicative. You need to be transparent with the people that you're dealing with, and give them a picture of what exactly is going on, because any pushback can only lead to negativity. The second thing is, there will be people who will make mistakes. And, in case you have a pessimistic point of view, you have a darker point of view, then you need to ensure that the people you have on your team are people who are, who are brimming with energy and are able to, twist that, turn, I won't say twist, I would say turn around the way things are. I also feel there is another. So I tend to tell this to most of my clients who are leaders, that you need to work on the point system. So point basically means reframing the negatives that you see around, reframing the challenges that you see around by looking at the P, which is pluses, looking at O, which is opportunities, focusing on I, which is the issues, and new thinking, which is the N and T. When you start reframing your the challenge that you're facing with point, then there is no way on earth that you will not be able to remain positive, because the pluses, the opportunities, focusing on the issue and not the people, and new thinking can only develop new ideas that can help you handle the challenges that come in your way smartly, effectively, and with rationality.
Obviously, that makes a lot of sense, and especially during these times, this is something that is gonna interest all our audience as well.
True.
Yes. So, like, how important is it for people to have an open mindset while getting coached?
Sneha, there are in fact two mindsets that come to coaching. All right. The open mindset definitely are the people who accept that there is a challenge in their life. The open mindset people are looking for growth, because they are, like the word itself, I mean, they are open-minded. The other thing that they are also wanting to do is they want to put in more effort, because their growth, they have a growth mindset, they have an open mindset, they're willing to put in the effort to work on it. They're willing to take constructive criticism, because there are going to be things that are going to be said during a coaching session, and if they have a closed mindset, they are not going to accept it. One of the things that an open mindset person also is looking for is that they know the challenges can only be handled if they move out of their comfort zone. So they're willing to get out of their comfort zone and make a difference, and they're open to feedback, no matter what kind of feedback that is given to them. They have the ability to take it in the right spirit, and importantly, to implement what happens. Whereas, a fixed mindset person will be forced to go in for coaching. And what do you think that'll happen? What do you think will happen when they are forced into coaching? They will not want to change. And everything that a coach shares with this person will mean pushing them out of their comfort zone, which they may not be ready to do that. So having an open mindset is one of the key criteria for self-development, for enhancing and polishing your strengths and abilities.
Absolutely. I completely agree to that point, that if you want to make the best optimum use of the coaching that you go through, you need to have an open mindset. And that is when you implement the things that you've learned, right?
Totally. You got to be an empty cup so that it can be filled.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. It was really beautiful. So
Thank you.
before wrapping up the interview, I would just like to ask you, like, do you like any other sound bites that you would like to leave our audience with?
Okay, so for leaders, I would just like to say that every leader feels that they have to be stoic. That no matter what comes their way, they've got to be this pillar of strength, and and they can never show their vulnerability. But I think those are not the kind of leaders that people require. It is okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to share your fears. It's okay to be anxious, and because your people will see you as more humane. And it's okay for a leader also to seek support, because you may not be able to find answers yourselves. You need people, you need somebody around there with you who'd be able to help you with that. So and we leaders actually are bridge builders. They are in the business of winning hearts. And I would say that just focus on that. When you're able to do that, the business happens. Because every business that you're dealing with, whether you say you're an FMCG, you're into FMCG products, or IT products, or any other products that you may be or services you may be dealing with, eventually we are all in the people business, and people vibe only to what connects them to the heart. So of all the things that you ever win, a heart must mean the most.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And yeah, it all starts there, right? Like once you get
True.
connected with it, and then you automatically tend to lean towards it and you accept it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that, Farzana. It was really amazing talking to you, and it was a wonderful experience for me. And I'm sure our audience are gonna love that too.
Thank you, Sneha. It was a pleasure talking to you, and as well as on People Hum. Look forward to catching up with you again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye
Oh,
bye.
yes, all of you. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye.